Hello everyone and welcome to the first ever Dungeon Delve devlog. I've been working on an RPG roguelike and I thought I could track the game's progression with a series of devlogs. Each devlog will showcase the content I've been working on in this staging scene you can see right here. I'm a big fan of the low poly art style, so most of the models for this game will be from Cinti Studios. Getting into the actual content now, in today's video I'm going to be showing the player character and everything that's gone into making it. Starting with movement, I get the user input axis and store it in a vector 3. I then use an 8 and 2 function on the vector's x and z components to get the new y rotation of the character. The value was then multiplied by a forward vector and walk speed, which was then applied to the character controller. Gravity and jumping was built over this. They are both controlled by a velocity vector. Jumping was done by checking the character controller was grounded and if the player had pressed jump. If so, the velocity y component was set to a jump height variable. To make sure gravity then dragged the character down, I added the physics gravity vector to the velocity every frame. To apply velocity to the character controller, I added it to the movement vector. Onto the camera system now, I used Cinemachine to handle all of the logic. A free look camera was used, and once I'd set the follow and look at targets to the character's head, it already looked pretty good. The only problem was, the camera clipped through walls when I got too close. This was easily fixed by adding the Cinemachine collider extension to pull the camera forward on collision. Onto the weapon system now, it's pretty basic in its current form, which is, if the character has enough stamina and the player is clicked, it should attack. Once the player has attacked, the character begins a timer to recharge stamina. I use a separate UI class to update the slider on screen to reflect the character's stamina. Lastly is the animations, which I got from the RPG Character Mechanism Animator Pack by Explosive. The animations are played through this animator controller. Movement is controlled through this blend tree, where the blending parameter is the magnitude of the movement vector. Attacks are then controlled through this blend tree, where the blending parameter is an incrementing counter. And finally, jumping, falling and landing are their own states. These are controlled through a jumping boolean and a fall trigger based on the state of the character controller grounded variable. Each animation, both state and blend tree, have an animation event to play sound effects like so. Well, that's it for this first devlog. I hope you enjoyed following along. You can expect an update on the game's progression very soon, so subscribe if you want to stay in the loop. Thanks for watching, I'll see you next time.